1, 2, 3. Okay, that was the Jeff Berlin bass solo to Freight Train Shuffle as heard on the 1985 album The Players. Now let's listen to Jeff's solo from the 1986 version of his album Pump It. 1, 2, 3. All right, that was Jeff's solo from the 1986 version of Freight Train Shuffle, found on his album Pump It. I thought it would be a cool idea to combine the two solos together and see what happens. My thoughts were that if you think of a solo or an improvisation as a new melody, and if you have two of those over the same set of chords, you might be able to put them together and get some sort of counterpoint. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. All right, well, I admit that is not what I had in mind when I was thinking of this idea. Dense would be a nice description of that. I don't think it really works, does it? Anyway, Freight Train Shuffle was the first bass solo I learned after studying with Jeff Berlin. I transcribed this solo in 2014, and it was the first Jeff Berlin solo that I put on my YouTube channel here. And I played it on my Geddy Lee jazz bass, which I really love. But man, it is really difficult to play like that on a Fender jazz bass. And that is what started me searching for a Palladium and a Dean Jeff Berlin and stuff like that. So anyhow, having redone the solo now on the Jeff Berlin bass, the Dean Jeff Berlin model, it's definitely a lot easier to play. It's a little cleaner than it was 8 years ago when I made that first version. And then of course learning the second solo from the 85 album was as easy as it gets as far as the instrument is concerned. The instrument doesn't cause any problems the way that the Fender bass does. I didn't even know that there was a second version of the song out there until I discovered it in 2017 and listened to it and heard a completely different solo than what I've been listening to for the past 30 years. So I transcribed that solo, and here we are 4 years later, 5 years later actually, and I'm actually finally playing it. So anyway, thanks for listening and hanging out if you made it this far on this video comparing the two different versions of Jeff Berlin's song Freight Train Shuffle and the very different solos and how they fit together. The reason I didn't play over the actual tracks is because the version on the Players is slightly sharp, and I would not have been able to interweave them together had I done them with the actual tracks, because the one would be sharper than the other and it would be out of tune. And of course I'd get comments about how I need to tune my bass and all that good stuff. Anyway, all right, well that's that. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button and the like thing and all those buttons. Okay, thanks.